Hi. Happy Valentine's Day. I am recording this the day after Valentine's Day. So it's the 15th, and I'm doing a Galentine's Day party so you can see my super aesthetic background. And I'm going to talk about that later. But happy Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. I grew up in a family where there was a lot of discord between my parents, but Valentine's Day was always made to be so important. We were always just told that it was a day to celebrate all of the people you love and appreciate and show gratitude. And so, we always made the cards for our classes and we always handed them out, and we always had to write our grandparents cards and send them. Well, it's like our grandmas, because both of our grandpas are dead. Were dead when we were growing up. That was really dark. I don't know if I needed to say that. Whatever. But anyway, so it was really nice. And it was one of the times of the year where we would do a family dinner that was really enjoyable. And our parents always got us really thoughtful gifts. And even when I was in college, my mom would always send us a Valentine's Day box. And even now, my parents send me really nice cards and messages and little trinkets to celebrate a day of love. And so to me, Valentine's Day has never been this day about romantic love. It's always been about appreciating the people around you, everybody you love. And I think I just have so much love to give. I don't think I've ever really, I do think I've always had a practice of gratitude. Growing up, that was the narrative my dad really instilled, that I was never grateful enough. There was just never a level of gratitude you could have that would be what he expected. And so for me, I was a kid who always was immediately, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much, for the smallest things, And I think that's really beautiful. It's not beautiful how I came to it, but it's a beautiful practice now. And, in that same vein, it's something I struggle with, because as grateful as I can be and how effusive I am with my gratitude, I am also very effusive with my apologies. And I expect other people to be as apologetic and as grateful, and I recognize that's not a reality. So that's been something I've always struggled understanding, that not everybody will say thank you a million times, and not everybody will say I'm sorry a million times and mean it from the depths of their heart. But I think Valentine's Day is, this really beautiful opportunity to reflect on all of that and to think about the people you love and the things you love and the aspects of life you love. It's just, I don't know, it's just really refreshing to me. And it really doesn't have to do with romantic love. That's great. I love my fiance. I am so glad that we get to do something this weekend because he's out of town right now. But I love it just because I love it. And when I went to Peru and did my ayahuasca trip, there was a lot of focus on meditation. And meditation to me has always been a struggle, because I struggle to let go and I struggle to get out of my body. But it was the first time I've ever really was able to cultivate a meditation practice and then come back to it. And so what really stuck with me was that the whole meditation that they gave, they were we want you to sit, we want you to think, we want you to reflect and do active meditation, walk, whatever. But what you do with your breathing is you breathe in love, you breathe out love. So breathe in love, breathe out love. And they just emphasize at this retreat center, the shaman, the teachers, the healers, the doctors, the program coordinators, they all emphasize that if you can come back to that in your meditations, in your practice, as you deal with ayahuasca, as you go through your trip, you can ground yourself. And since then, it's been the most revolutionary thing. Anytime I'm frustrated, I want to get back into meditating and I can't, or I'm just needing peace, that idea of breathing in love from the universe, from nature, from the trees, from whatever spirit you believe in, the people around you, and breathing out love has been so beautiful. And I've expanded upon that, you know? So like when I drive and when I drive, I love a driving meditation. And when I drive, I breathe out love and peace and safety to the drivers around me. And I try and breathe in focus, safety, appreciation to get to my destination. And I just think on days like Valentine's Day, it's really nice to think about that stuff. Yeah, so it's just a day I really, really love. And so I'm doing my quarterly book exchange. So I invite femmes and non-binary people to my house to do a book exchange, and I tell everybody it's a wine night book exchange, but I don't drink, so I make mocktails, and I also provide wine for people. I don't mind having alcohol in my house, and also I consider myself sober-ish. Again, another video. But so I came up with this idea because it's really hard to make friends, and in South Carolina where I am, like, people are either lifers, like they were born and raised here, have a deep community, they were transplants, or they're one of those two, but they have kids. And if you are a transplant without kids, it is so hard to meet people, or if you just don't have friends from childhood anymore, it is so difficult to meet people, especially like if you work from home like me, or if you're in super kind of like isolated positions where there's not a lot of young people around you. So I started doing this in the fall or winter or summer, some point around then. And what I do is I invite a group of people and I tell them to bring a friend. And it's not a super exclusive guest list. Honestly, if I've talked to somebody like once or twice, I'll probably invite them, especially if it's right around the corner. But so I set the dates for myself like 3 months in advance, but I send out invitations to everybody about a month in advance. And so I tell everybody, bring a book, bring either wine/drink or a snack, and just bring a friend if you want. And it's really great because it's a great icebreaker. So people bring their books, they write their names in the book. Oh, 1 second. Those are my pastries, and I'm going to finish them. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what was I saying? Okay, so everybody brings a book and either a drink or a snack and hopefully a friend. And I set out sticky notes and tape to make name tags so everybody can have their name and their pronouns. And I put sticky notes out so that they can write their name and phone number on the sticky note and put it in the front of their book. And so when people come, they drop off their book, they get a drink, they get a snack, and people pretty much start pitching their books together really casually. And it's a great conversation starter, icebreaker. And people talk about the books they like to read. If they're not into reading, they talk about why not, and if they want to get into reading more, or if they don't and just wanted to do something. It's really great. And so people have such diverse tastes. It's so fun to like see why people like certain books, why people like certain genres, and it's really cool to explore what other people enjoy. And because people can explore new things and meet new people. And what happens is as people get more comfortable having talked about their books, they just start talking and it becomes kind of like a cocktail hour. I set a hard timeline because I like my sleep. I always phrase things like that, like, as much as I love you guys, I love my sleep more, so I will kick you out. That's my boundary. That's okay. But so it's really fun, and people love them, and it's been so positive. And so this month's is Galentine's Day theme. So I did a super aesthetic house. Like, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, I realize you can see my phone this whole time. These are my little notes to myself. Whatever. I am who I am. But so so I did super aesthetic. So I'm going to kind of like walk you guys through what I set up, how I got all the stuff I got for it, which was a super fun thing to do as well. And I just really love it. I love a Galentine's Day. I love pinks. I love purples. I'm a girly girl. And I think it's just fun. So I got tons of flowers. You'll see. But so, you know, I think with that thing of love and Valentine's Day and just being happy, honestly, is like community. You have to love others. You have to put yourself out there. And building community was the hardest thing for me when I first moved here. I felt this was like post-COVID, right? It was 2021 when I moved to the upstate. And it was so hard. People had such different values in me. I was in medical school, so I saw the same people all the time who only want to talk about medical school. And I wasn't used to that. Most of my friends were non-medical people or were medical people who had other interests. And so when I got here, I didn't know how to make friends. It was really hard. And I would show up at trivia nights randomly. I would like get people's phone numbers. I'd like pick up people at the dog park, like friends at the dog park. And it was great. But in medical school, it was really hard to cultivate and maintain those relationships. And so I felt like I knew people, but I didn't have community. And that's something I think I'm still working on here. I think I have a community, and I'm coming to terms with the fact that community looks really different now in a post-COVID world, a post-college world, in your 20s than it does at other points in life. And that's been something I've really struggled with, because I want it to be I can see somebody every day. I want it to be we can pop over and do stuff really quick, but that's just not the reality anymore. So coming to terms with the fact that friendships weren't going to look the same, community wasn't going to look the same, I really struggled with it. And so when I left medical school, part of my journey in leaving medical school was trying new things and putting myself out there in new ways. So I started tennis lessons, and that's how I met my friends Connor and Krista, and I joined a writing group, and I started going to yoga classes, right? Like I just tried new things. And I think when I look at my wellness journey as it is now and what it's been since I moved here, trying new things has been the best thing I've done. It's been so powerful. I've discovered this like childish wonder and curiosity that medical school really stifled. And I also realized how much time I have to make room for the things I want to do. Even when I was in medical school, when I finally got to the point where I was like, I have to do something for me, I realized I had so much time when I prioritized myself. When I took the time to show myself that love, when I showed myself that patience, that dedication to me, I had way more time to do so than I realized, because I was efficient with everything else. I started to value that time so much. And so trying new things was huge. And I will also say I am very extroverted, if you can't tell. I'm very extroverted, and I am one of those weirdos who will just post on the local women's Facebook group and be like, somebody come play tennis with me. I like to do activities with people. I think it's better than just sitting and talking over coffee if you don't know them. But come play tennis with me. Anybody want to go on a walk? Pickleball? Doesn't have to even be sporty. Pottery? I'm going to a pottery class. Anybody want to try it with me? And that's been another great way I've made friends and built community, and just especially have been able to surround myself with like-minded people. And don't get me wrong, there's been some duds. There's been some people I don't click with, but I still make an effort because maybe they have somebody I can click with. And that sounds weird and maybe a little usy, but I don't think it is, because you won't be everybody's cup of tea. Everybody won't be your cup of tea, but our networks, our expanded networks. Hey, Goosey, it's okay, baby. It's okay. Why don't you go lay down? Go lay down. If you've ever heard of The Defining Decade, this book's by Meg Joy. She's a psychologist, and she wrote it originally in 2012, but then did a re-release in 2020, I think. And she opens a book talking about weak ties and how your weak ties are so powerful. So your weak ties are the people 2-3 degrees of separation. They're not the people you call for big events, for important moments, who you call for a shoulder to cry on. They're, the acquaintances, the people you kind of know in the group, people you've seen around. Those are your weak ties. And the reason why they're so important in your life is because your closest network knows everything you do. They know about opportunities. They let you know about opportunities, job, friendships, parties, whatever. But one group extended, they have their own close network of things you would have never been able to tap into. And so that's why I think it's not using somebody. If you don't connect with somebody, Maybe they have a person you can connect with. That's your weak ties, and using your weak ties to grow as a person, to get a job, to connect with more people, to build your community, to spread love and friendship. And as cheesy and corny as that sounds, I know. I really believe it's true. And so, as I kind of think about Valentine's Day and this journey of wellness and self-love and I just think there's really this power about going out on a limb. Just trusting it will be okay. Trusting your gut. Trusting that you have enough love to give and you have enough love to recover when going out on a limb is scary and doesn't work. And that's what I'm going to keep doing with my wellness journey. You know, I say my wellness journey, but literally with everything. I think my whole life is a wellness journey, honestly. But with everything, like I'm going to go out on a limb because I know I have so much love surrounding me. I have so much love to give that I will always recover. I will always, always recover. There's never a moment where my love and the love for me and the love the universe has to give back to me will run out. It's infinite. It's an infinite resource. And how rare is that? There are very few infinite resources in the world. Love and energy. Love and energy. That's all we got. That's infinite. That is always regenerating. Always there. Always present. There's always enough love and enough energy to go around. And that is so rare. We have very few resources like that. And that's why I feel so confident that all this love I have and that I want to share on Valentine's Day, that I want to give to myself, is worth it. It's so worth it. I hope this resonated. I hope that somebody watches this, even if it's one person, even if it's myself in 5 months or when I edit this, and says, heck yeah, I have more love to give and I'm going to give it. You might hear goose. I'm sorry. But love is endless. You have love to give. You can give it to people. You can give it to yourself. You have gratitude. I have gratitude. And that's the power of Valentine's Day. Goose wants me to stop. So share it with a friend. Share it with somebody who wants to feel love, who needs love in their life that's not romantic love. I love whoever's watching this. I appreciate you. And I hope you surround yourself and your heart with warmth, goodness, and lots of love. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, Goose. We're done. I set up 3.5 stations. I had a snack station where I got all the snacks from Trader Joe's. I also got all the flowers from Trader Joe's. They're the best place to get cheap flowers that are really nice. I used decorations I already had and a lot of ones I've got from the thrift store. All of the china I got, I thrifted, and I thought it just added this really nice feminine touch. I did an affirmation station for people, and of course we had our book table. That's where people left their book, put their phone number in, and we then picked them up later and we sat around in a circle and talked about our books and politics and a lot of different things. And last, of course, we had our drink station.